again, like you said, I don't have any formal education in it, but the education of learning through all of the experiences that I have actually gives me quite a bit of knowledge that they don't really know about, right? Because if you don't have a certificate or a title or a degree or whatever, people seem to not think that you know as much as you could possibly know.
And for some reason, the fact that you live on a ski hill and go skiing 4 or 5 hours a day and all, that's apparently that's luck.
That's it. That's it. And I
Apparently,
think
so.
that that's exactly it. And I think my family thinks I'm a little bit hokey, because I always talk about mindset and how the universe is providing for me because I believe it and because I give to others. I just do.
Mm.
When
I,
people
I
ask me
think
for help, I just help them in whatever way they ask. Like it's just, I don't know, something I like to do.
I think speaking with so many people with regards to their businesses, how their mindset is, and how do they uh, deal with their business and all that kind of stuff. You're one of the, I think, really rare few that is so focused on helping people out and so focused on adding value. And it's like, yeah, if you ask me for this, I will help. I'll give you the $10,000 and we'll find a way of making it work. And there's not a lot of people who's willing to do that, which is absolutely incredible. And I think
Yeah.
that then leads you to creating that charity that you have. Share with us more about how that came about and how can people help out with that.
Yeah. So when I was so my first real experience in sort of housing that's required for people that are in need was in El Salvador when I was quite young. My parents, like I said, were very involved in the political situation in El Salvador, and for our safety, they had to put my sisters and I in an orphanage, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Like, not only is it bad enough that as a kid you feel abandoned by your parents because you don't understand that it's for your own safety when you're four and your parents put you somewhere where you're separated from your siblings and just horrible things happen, right? So I've always known that I wanted to be able to create safe spaces for kids in those situations that are already so horrible to feel loved and taken care of as opposed to just left behind. And I've never really known how to get into that space. But here in Canada, my mom had the courage to leave my dad because my dad was really physically, emotionally, and psychologically abusive. And a lot of that landed on me. And for a couple of years, I actually lived here by myself with my dad and my youngest sister. And my mom and my older sisters were still in El Salvador. And my mom didn't know the extent of the abuse until she came here. And my mom one day just she didn't know how to leave, I think is because she had nowhere to go. She didn't speak the language, she didn't know how to ask for help, and she had four kids. My mom was 27 years old, 28 then maybe, and it's a difficult situation to be in. But one day she finally had enough of how badly my dad abused me. Like there were things that were done to me, like just hor I don't even want to get into them. They were bad. That's not the point. But my mom ran away to this place in London, Ontario that no longer exists, shamefully. And it was called Women's Community House. And they gave us a room for the five of us, my three sisters, myself and my mom. And we lived there. We escaped the violence, and they helped my mom find a job. They helped her get into school. They found safe housing for us after the 6 month period that you're allowed to live in the place in the women's community house. And in that home, I met some wonderful ladies that were all volunteers. I know that now, and at that time I didn't know, but they volunteer their time to make sure that kids and women are safe and have places to be when they have nowhere else to go and are literally being beaten every day and psychologically and emotionally abused. And growing up, I always knew that that was, again, something that I've had to go through in order to be able to genuinely feel the need and the responsibility to help others in that situation. So I've never really addressed that in public before because I guess in a way it seems and it feels kind of shameful to me to have been in that situation at all, even though it had nothing to do with me or my mom. And my dad was just a broken person, and hurt people hurt people. And I know that in his mind, probably what he was doing was teaching me lessons and raising me properly, and it's just not the way to do it. And I know that it happens a lot. And I know that working now with charities, I hear often like we just don't have enough space. But getting into the charities and like donating anything other than money, which doesn't actually help a lot because space is what's required, not money, right? Money's out there. People are willing to give money, but not a lot of people are willing to say, hey, I have this property and I want you to use it for this purpose.
Right.
So that's the space I want to create. So through being able to get on stage at Mega and put myself out there in such a vulnerable way, honestly, I felt like my heart was pounding so hard the entire time before I went on stage. The gentleman before me, he was just like, I can physically see your body shaking. Are you okay? And I remember being like, I think so. Like, I think I'm all right. So I went up, I did my speech, and it felt incredible actually to be able to share that and knowing in my mind that that's the step I needed to take to be able to gain other people's interest in what I really want to do. And after that, honestly, the flood of people coming towards me and the opportunities that have come, even with people that I've known for years that I had no idea were in that space and know how to build our own charity now. And that's what we're working at now is we're building our own charity where we're going to, through our construction company, are going to purchase properties and then just have our charities own them. And we're going to be able to do it that way. So it's been a huge, like, it's been an eye-opening situation to me in that if you don't take that chance, if you don't get super uncomfortable, the big, big goals that you set for yourself, you're never going to attain because those are the scary things. And the scary things only come if you're willing to put yourself out there and have sort of the fearlessness of the rejection. Because there are people that are just like, I want nothing to do with you. You're way too emotional. You're too vulnerable, too connected, too attached. You know what I mean? Like that definitely happens.
Yeah.
But then there are other people that are like, oh my God, that is like a noble cause. I want to do that. I want to do that in my country. Can we work together to do that here? I had an amazing woman come up to me after, and actually not even to me. They came up to my buddy Wade and they were like, oh my God, like this woman is amazing. And he's like, I know her. You should definitely talk to her. And she ends up being connected to a lady that lives in El Salvador and works for this man that opened up a private orphanage. And she said, maybe we can all work together and we can do more of this. And that's literally a goal I've never shared with anyone ever, ever in my life that I never said to anyone. And it literally just happened and it came right to me. And I honestly got so emotional and I was just like, 100%. In any way, shape, or form, I don't know how, but I'm gonna do this with you. Again, the how isn't up to me.
Right.
It's just not up to us. The only thing we need to know is why we want to do what we want to do. Stay focused on your goal. The how is going to be there. You just got to grab those pieces when they come, right?
How is success like a turkey?
Hmm. Success like a turkey. When it's done, it's done. I don't even know.
Nicely done. So
That's
that's
a
how
really
success is
good
like a
question.
turkey.